All right, so this week is a good week to take a break from talking soccer, mainly because we're still in the middle of international break, Gold Cup mainly. So this topic in particular is basically a sequel, and it's the last video that I'm doing, or the last content I'm creating in regards to the Western Athletic Conference. If you haven't seen the video that I did back in January of last year, I talked about the WAC and how they can eventually be the best conference out west. It's not crazy to think that they can be the best collegiate conference out west. You see a lot of instability with Pac-12. We know there's instability with the Mountain West. The conference that Gonzaga is part of, I think it's WCC. I can't remember the name, but that's like a lot of private schools, that's largely focused on college basketball. But when you think about conferences that's West, like a strong Western presence, like there's not one conference where you can look and say like, yes, this conference will be around at least for the next 30 to 50 years. And quite honestly, there's not too many conferences in all of college sports where you can really say like, this particular conference is going to be around for the long haul. What we do see, however, is evolution, but not merely based on expansion. It's really based on mergers. We're starting to see a lot of mergers now in the 2020s. And even outside the world of college football, you see in regular corporate America, you're starting to see more companies merging or bigger companies purchasing smaller companies. And smaller companies, basically allowing themselves to be bought because they just don't have a certain amount of money to really keep up and to stay in business. And that's what's going on in college football. At one point, we thought that there's going to be a merger between ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12. I don't know whatever happened to the alliance. Maybe the networks, the cable networks, the media companies, they probably weren't on board with it. And I'm not sure if every school in particular was on board with it. Each school basically have their own agenda. They have their own vision on what they want to do. And this is why college football or college sports in particular, it's so unpredictable. It's really hard to keep up because there's not a central vision upon all the schools that work together. Each school has its own ambition. Each school has its own ideology, and each school wants to do its own thing. And that even includes the schools in the Southeast and the Midwest. Even though they share similar values, each school still has its own ideology and its own agenda. So, in this episode of Saturday Night Special, I'm mainly going to talk about how the WAC have made strides since bringing back football. Because for those of you who don't know, football and men's basketball, those are the two big money makers. Now, I know ESPN and media in general is trying their hardest to promote women's basketball. and they're spending a lot of money doing that. They're probably spending more money than they're actually making doing that. But the big money makers is football and gridiron football for my European listeners, and men's basketball. The WAC is a conference that shut down football in 2012, and they're just now bringing it back in the 2020s. And I'm basically going to talk about how they have made strides to correct their mistakes and how they can remain in the game to the point where they can evolve for the better.
Our Father who art in heaven, I love when you toss me blessings. You never throw interceptions, I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to not fuck the devil when built like Tiana Teller. And ballin' at 27, I feel like Iman Shumpert. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive, the streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class, seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united, a legion, my soul forever. I murder my adolescence, assault with a friendly weapon. I verbally dissect them to help them get back together. Wanting the stranger things, I handle it like 11. My point is I guard the kids. I should play for the Celtics. Watch how I Euro step them and curry them like I'm Stephen. Whenever I'm in your town, the Warriors in your presence. I manifest my endeavors. I'm blessed and I'm getting better. I walk amongst living legends. Coach Contra will live forever. Oh. New goals, baby boo. Got my wrist in these grits, tryna whip something new. I am sick of this rampant fuck shit, so are you. Hold on, switch. Mama, I'm gon' introduce my ego. Since the world full of villains, then let's introduce the heroes. We the good guys, no blood on our hands. Nigga, these Cheetos, she a snack. Condom pack, finna smack, guaranteedo. Nigga, move back. Type of view is that on the globe? It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, lend a helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that, the nigga in the mirror oversold. Call me Reasonite, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big pun, bigger punishment. I give him hell, getting shit done. Keep it blunt enough, you can't inhale. Cough drop, tell them Halls ass for their health.
Al fin han encontrado el negrito con los ojos colorados, el mejor desde Colombia, los estados. Para los que no piensan que yo soy mejor, tú estás trabado. Tengo todos tus raperos favoritos paniqueados, ten cuidado. Estos raperos son mis hijos jautados. Acuérdate que ni hizo el sonido que te ha gustado. Pídeme permiso when you copy my style. This bridge, I done burnt them all with a freestyle. Black on both sides de Colombia, oye peep style. Como yo lo hago, ain't nobody finna do it now. Up to uptown, all the way down through the south. No hay nadie que pueda conmigo, Dios es mi testigo. I'm the one that shut it down. Just the light from a vision that I had in the dark. Tunnel vision on the bigger picture, nigga, fuck the charts. Niggas wanna play the game, but don't never play their part.
Yeah. Soulful. Yeah. Look, she just wanna be an artist. She just wanna be an artist. She just wanna be an artist. But shit a little difficult walking with a vagina. Gotta find a manager that wanna get behind her without trying to get behind her. Impossible. Know she can make it, believe it with every follicle. But not giving up pussy could be an obstacle. Look, she just wanna be an artist. Go bar to bar with your favorite rapper. Lines doper than your favorite trapper. But who gives a fuck, bitch? We wanna see you shake something. Ain't having surgery, ain't tryna fake nothing. Good luck, boo. Now you stuck too. And talent could kill, all of your weapons real. But we ain't listening to shit without the sex appeal. I had a convo with Layla, sharing some of her wisdom with me. Came to kick it with me. Talent, she wasn't missing any. Lady Pocket Biggie, but still underrated. It's like we all know the game, but still gotta play it. Look, nigga, she just wanna be an artist. But that shit feel impossible. Know she can make it with every follicle. But not giving up pussy could be your greatest fucking obstacle, that's real. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Look, he just wanna be an artist. But where you from, nigga? Who you bang with? Where your guns, nigga? Who you hang with? Or you woke, huh? Fuck that lame shit. You just another nigga. Put some murder on. Do your dance, nigga. Get your smurder on. Huh. We need these young kids to follow in your steps. We gon' walk you to your grave and celebrate your death. Look, you said you wanna be an artist. Well, we gon' turn you to an addict. Get rid of the niggas that you got on with. Then give you the tools to dig your own shit. Surround you with some whack niggas, some yes man that's gonna tell you that your rap's iller. A couple cars, some jewelry, make your stacks bigger. Then one day you could become the next Mac Miller. Here's your chance, nigga, sign here. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. Don't you fall, don't you fall, don't you fall. I wish I could change it. My soul getting dangerous. I wanna be famous. Ooh. I wish I could change it. We all want the same shit. Just wanna be famous. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I know my demons never change. I know my heart stay the same. Said I would never sell my soul, but I can't seem to find a way. I wish my dreams could wake me up, but all these demons never change. Said I would never sell my soul. I pray that never ever change. Don't you fall.
So, if you have the time, there's 2 books that I encourage you to read if you want to learn more about college football. One, The 50-Year Seduction by Keith Donovan, and The $1 Billion Ball by Gilbert M. Gall. These are 2 very insightful books, and it'll really help you learn about the industry from a business standpoint, and it's really insightful. Now, the evolution of the game. The game is evolving. You have more businesses getting involved in the game more than ever before. And this is largely thanks to NIL, name, image, and likeness. And NIL basically gives players an opportunity to profit off of their memorabilia, jerseys, sporting cards. It basically enables them to be a business, to build their own brand, which is something that wasn't allowed before. Like, those of you who've been following college football, at least for the past 10 years, you all know about the Todd Gurley situation at the University of Georgia. Then you also have the transfer portal. And WAC, well, basically UAC, because now that you have merged with the Atlantic Sun Conference, you're now the United Athletic Conference, which expounds your boundary. You know, this merger with the Atlantic Sun, from a football standpoint, WAC, is probably going to go down as the best thing that you have done to keep the football, your football sector, to keep that portion of your business alive. Because for you, WAC, the problem hasn't been other sports. Other sports has always been around. The issue was the instability with the Western colleges, the instability that still exists today. But you finding a way to merge with the South, with a conference that has I wouldn't say a strong, but it has a Southeastern presence. That is what's going to keep you in business. You being in the South. And now when it comes to transfer portal, UAC, you can be a transit league like Major League Soccer. You see, Major League Soccer was once a sellers league where, players from South America, largely South America, they weren't recognized by their favorite European club. So they come play in Major League Soccer for a few years, maybe like 1 or 2 years. Then their favorite European club notices them. Then they get recruited by their favorite European club. So that still exists today. But the league has grown more. It's grown beyond that. It's a market. Major League Soccer is a market of its own, where it doesn't only sell players, but it also buys players. But now at the same time, it has its own farm system where they do develop players. That can be you, UAC, in the college football world. But starting off, you can be a league that recruits players that are not recognized by SEC and Big Ten. You can have them come to Texas, which is still South. A lot of your schools are in Texas. But then, even though with this UAC merger, you have schools in Tennessee and Kentucky. So you still have a strong Southern presence. Maybe if the players' grades wasn't good enough to get accepted to the bigger schools, you could recruit them, help them improve their talent for 2 years, help them improve their grades for 2 years. And then once they become successful in your conference for 2 years, then they can hit the transfer portal and go to the bigger school that they always dreamed of. And that is still a win for you, WAC. Because the bigger schools will be looking onto you as a reliable source for them to retool, to quickly retool. Because in the reality in this world of college football, everybody won't be able to recruit the 5 stars. Everybody won't be able to recruit the 4 stars. So you need smaller conferences like UWAC that are willing to be a transit league, a league where players who are struggling academically or athletically, they come and play for one of your schools. They improve themselves on the field and in the classroom. And then after at least 2 years, they hit the portal and they go to that bigger school that they always wanted to go to. That is something that you should consider, WAC.
smell of your iris. How much of this bullshit until we reach the pasture? Ain't no need to gas me, it was lit from the lashes. Bad and chit-chatting casually about how you think monogamy is something of the past. But baby girl, your actions speak something totally opposite. And you have to pardon me, cause I am a dog, you see. And if you lead me to the park, I'll break up off the leash.
What is it about my smile
that would make you ponder? Kicking dirt in my water, spilling bleach in the laundry bag, and stressing my mama, pushing dents in my armor, scratching dent in my Pontiac. Bitch, are you off your shit? I'll bag another one just to piss you off and shit. Don't make me put the shit I bought you up for auction, bitch.
Hold
Hey, whoa.
Pause this shit.
My lady drives me high up the wall. She keeps me up and locked in the bathing room. Why am I screaming at the top of my lungs when she can't hear a word that I say to her? You petty bitch, petty, calculate all of it, tracking all of it, all of this bullshit, worthless shit. You packaged up, don't stop my shit. All of it, all of it, all. Bitch, like you know that was totally out of pocket. Lord, don't let me fall off. Oh, won't you catch me when I fall? I won't slip the small stuff. No more chasing business, no. Keep me from falling off. Keep me from these useless bitches, these ruthless leeches. I might get you hard. I don't need it, I don't need it. That bro, he lends me no help at all. He's out there chasing money that's far too small. Lately he's talking about investing withdrawal, but the loan of which you owe me is far from paid off. Oh Lord, you petty bitch, petty, calculate all of it, tracking all of it, all of this bullshit, worthless shit. You packaged up, don't stop my shit. All of it, all of it, all. Bitch, like you know that was totally out of pocket.
Yeah. I may be right, I may be wrong, but you gon' miss me when I'm gone. A modern Johnny Cash and June, we never got along. Just think about me when you play this song. I'll make it on, just watch. You'll be so regretful, and revenge is sweet. I get full quickly, then I just forget you. But I can't even tell a lie. Felt like you were special till I realized what's up and left. Got you feeling dreadful. So whether or not you meant to, ain't no difference between it. Cause everything we had is gone, now you can't redeem it. Can't tell if you're oblivious or if you really mean it. I wonder just how many other folks before me seen it. But that shit love can make you blind to a lot of shit. But I can't waste my time on this right now, I gotta split. We had a shot up until you stirred the pot. Then you did some shit I never would've thought. I never thought you shoot me down.
I raise my body from the ground. But I'm not worried here at all. No. I get right back up when I fall.
Yeah. Catching shots from head to toe. I don't need no medic though. A modern Gatsby chasing daisies, should've let it go. Well, but you never know. I might've dreamed too high, rather way too low. Cause you wouldn't stick around back when I wasn't making dough. Till you see a poster with my face for me to play a show. And your friends are like, he made it now, fucking way to go. Used to dream about becoming rich, you ain't see the vision. I ain't make it fast enough for you, so you ain't sticking with them. Used to think about a life with you and music, I was wishing for them both. But you ain't see it till I brought one to fruition. But for some reason, now and then I still consider the what ifs and the maybes, but that shit just makes me bitter. See, we had a shot up until you stirred the pot. Then you did some shit I never would've thought. I never thought you'd shoot me down.
Down. I raise my body from the ground. But I'm not moving you at all. No. I get right back up when I fall. You know. Never thought you'd shoot me down. I raise my body from the ground. But I'm not worried at all. No. I get right back up when I fall. You know.
Of my part on this, I see nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood. Of my part on this, I see nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood.
Yeah. I feel the darkness around me. I know my head got bounties. They hunting for 'em in counties. They want 'em dead, huh? Said I was lost, so they found me. In baptism, they try to drown me. Oh, y'all old-fashioned, y'all don't wanna use lead, huh? The accusers came for Yahshua singing red rum. I sing hallelujah to Yahuwah, that's an anthem. I got a calling on my life like it's a Samsung. My hair swinging wild in the air like I'm Samsung. I remain a student of the word. I've been prudent from the curb. I see dead men at the viewing at the church. Laid up like it's Ewing over bird. Blood of the Messiah, it's salvation and new birth. Blessed to be of the bloodline, but without the blood I'm dirt. Living water, that's an elixir, obey your thirst. Brick and mortar, that's a religion, that ain't the church. Rainbows reflecting the prism above the earth, and that one's for Noah, not a perverted sexual urge. Every time I pray, it's a feeling of being searched. Faith is nothing if I ain't willing to do the work. My people were blessed, but we slipped up and caught a curse.
Of my part on this, I see nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood. Of my part on this, I see nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood.
Blood on top of the doorpost. Death passed me over, my former life casting over on water like Captain Noah headed to the shore. My body is the temple, just know he the door. The law ain't no salvation issue, it's just gonna keep me pure. Reading, fasting, and praying, that's what's gonna keep me raw. Holy Spirit checking me, gon' make me stay the course. Scripture is my weaponry, that sword go through your heart. Flame on my torch, running through the dark. Hebrew boy still pressing toward the mark. MLK stride when it's time to march. Sometimes I'm Simon with the blade, now I don't wanna talk. Royalty, I'm cut from a designer cloth. America foiled me, be trying to throw me off. Christ was sent to the lost, that's what the words say. And you can't be lost if you wasn't his in the first place.
Of my part on this, I see nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood. Of my part on this, I see nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood.
First of all, in this analysis, I took the blood into a laboratory in Israel. I just said, please examine this blood and tell me what you can tell me about it. All right? They said, well, look, we're going to reconstitute it. We're going to put it in normal saline and keep it at body temperature for 72 hours with gentle swirling. All right, that's their business. That's great. I said, now I want to be there when you check it out. They said, fine. They said, it's human blood. We can tell that. And then I said, take some of the white blood cells and put them in a growth medium. Keep them at body temperature for 48 hours. And they said, well, that'll do no good because it's dead blood. I said, would you please do that for me? And they said, okay, we'll do it. So anyway, I said, I want to be there when you take it out and examine it. So I was back there. They took it out, examined it under microscope, and the one technician called the other one over there, and then they called the boss over there, and they were talking Hebrew a mile a minute there for a little bit, and they looked at me and they said, Mr. Wyatt, this human blood only has 24 chromosomes in it. Everybody else has 46. You see, 23 from your mother, 23 from your father, 22 autosomes from your mother, 22 autosomes from your father. You get an X from your mother, you may get an X or a Y from your father, all right? This blood had 23 chromosomes from the mother's side, one Y chromosome only. You see, the child could not have developed if they hadn't had the autosomes from the mother. So all of his physical characteristics were determined by his mother's side of the family, her autosomes. His maleness was determined by this one Y that came from the source, not a human male. Then they said, this blood is alive. And then they said, whose blood is this? I said, it's the blood of your Messiah.
So the benefit of the WAC-ASUN merger, the new United Athletic Conference, from a WAC point of view, now your football conference will be able to recruit better players. You're no longer recruiting basically Pac-12 Mountain West rejects, pretty much. And the lack of talent being in the Mountain West region because of the minimal population compared to places east of the Mississippi, it always puts you at a disadvantage, WAC. Now that you're in a football conference with Austin Peay and Central Arkansas, you got that entire I-40 corridor. That includes Little Rock, Memphis, and Nashville. And that's huge. Now, a lot of people don't think that Little Rock, Arkansas have a lot of talented players. But do research on Darren McFadden and Joe Johnson. Both of them are from Little Rock. Darren McFadden, one of the greatest college football players of all time. Joe Johnson, one of the most valuable NBA players of all time. And his best days was with the Phoenix Suns under Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni. And he had a decent run with the Atlanta Hawks. But there's talent in Little Rock, Arkansas. So that's a benefit for you, WAC. But overall, this new United Athletic Conference, basically it signifies the end of WAC football again. Because now this merger is not the Western Athletic Conference Football League. No, it's the United Athletic Conference Football League. So this basically signifies another end to WAC football. I think this is a good way for you to go out. Now, WAC, you going out like this, that means no more football. You're not coming back. We're never going to hear about a Western Athletic Conference football league. We're never going to hear that about that again. When it comes to gridiron football, now you can focus more on Olympic sports. And that's something that a lot of collegiate conferences, they haven't really invested into. For whatever reason, I don't know why. Because there's this weird notion where people believe that all American youth loves football. And that's not true. It's more so forced upon them through TV, social media, and just pure the popularity of the sport in the public schools, the public high schools. So it's usually forced upon kids. But in reality, gridiron football is not as popular upon many kids that a lot of people may think, at least in this new generation.
Gotta stop and smell the cool breeze. Gotta slow it down and spend time with the seas. Sometimes we just need to sit still and master our breath like a monk in Tibet. Well, sometimes I feel the need to cry, to release the fear through my tears and keep it moving. Cause I like to travel and I know how to move on if I need to move on. Sometimes you cannot hold on to the river when it flows. Where it goes, well, I just don't know. There are times in your life when you have to learn to let go. And of life is so embrace the experience so you can continue to grow into the end of your journey. So if your boat rocks before it docks, you better still stay in the flow. Sometimes you gotta listen to that intuition. Break free from the systematic ways and habits. Flow like etheric and get that leech off your spirit, like Tina did Ike on Friday night, yeah. Sometimes you just need to throw a party and celebrate the fact that we're healthy and still here. Time to let your guard down, find trust in yourself so you can maintain the weight of your world and your wealth. To the river when it flows. Where it goes, well, I just don't know. There are times in your life when you have to learn to let go. And of life is so embrace the experience so you can continue to grow into the end of your journey. And if your boat rocks before it docks, you better still stay in the flow. Drifting away, drifting away, drifting away, drifting away, yeah. We gotta just drink water all day, go and play, sun rays for pay. Break the rules and define your destiny, like the India Aries of today. Get what I'm saying? Time is of the essence, well not really cause it's of the physical and can never be of spiritual. So take the time out and get into the tune while me and Eric Rico make music for the womb. Sometimes you cannot hold on to the river when it flows. Where it goes, well I just don't know. There are times in your life when you have to learn to let go. And of life is so embrace the experience so you can continue to grow into the end of your journey. And if your boat rocks before it docks, you better still stay in the flow. Sometimes you cannot hold on to the river when it flows. Where it goes, well I just don't know. There are times in your life when you have to learn to let go. And of life is so embrace the experience so you can continue to grow into the end of your journey. And if your boat rocks before it docks, you better still stay in the flow. Sometimes you cannot hold on to the river when it flows. Where it goes, well I just don't know. There are times in your life when you have to learn to let go. And of life is so embrace the experience so you can continue to grow into the end of your journey. And if your boat rocks before it docks, you better still stay in the flow.
Penny for your thoughts, brother, dollar for your insight. I could crash a party, turn it up without an invite. I be on the waves, be amazed how my pen right. I be on that ass player, you could call it skin tight. 30-something years, I've been known to get it in right. Flows intoxicating like it's Hennessy and gin night. I am not the type that's gonna bark first and then bite. You gon' get these fangs, rap gangs always in fight. But I think it's best that we keep the peace. We can all break bread and then eat the feast. All the slick talk, we don't need the grease. Cause everyone lose and we feed the beast. Competition causes our condition. This man over here is not your opposition. The real ops, your oppressors. Leaving pennies on your dresses. Wake up. Leaving pennies on your dresses. Wake up. Fighting over pennies and we fighting over crumbs. Warring in the wars and we fighting over slums.
Get my hands dirty like I'm fighting in them scrums. Spit a verse in Nashville, tighten over drums. Take it as it comes, get it how it's given. Gotta be driven if you try and make a living. Highly motivated cause they widely overrated. Did it very different than they do it, so they hate it. That's cool cause I'm used to it though. They said that OG got some juice to his flow. Now that's like stacks of facts on facts. This is like abuse to these cats on tracks. But competition causes like addition. That man over there is not the opposition. Listen, the real ops your oppressors, leaving pennies on your dresses. Wake up.
WAC moving their headquarters from Denver to Arlington, Texas is probably one of the smartest moves that they have ever made in the history of their existence from a football standpoint. Because when it comes to college football, when you go west of I-35, basically west of the Dallas Metro, west of Austin, west of San Antonio, that big I-35 line, once you go west of I-35, there's no major college football program until you get to Southern California. And yes, Oregon because of Nike and probably Washington. But let's be honest. Important college football programs west of I-35, it's only really USC, to be honest with you, based on history. So USC, Oregon, just those two. But besides that, there's no other major program. Not in Colorado, not in New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Montana, Wyoming. None. As a result of that, you had to find a way to network with people in bigger populations, in regions where college football is not treated as recreation, but it's treated as a business, it's treated as religion, it's treated as a way of life, it's treated as a huge impactor to the economy, where the game is really important. And you won't find that in your old headquarters in Denver. Yeah, I know they got Deion Sanders, but from a long-term sustainability, like, let's be honest, does it have real substance? Now, I'm not going to get too much into that. We all know that Colorado is not a place for college football. People don't go to Colorado for college football. That's a winter vacation destination for winter sports, winter resorts, in all honesty. And that's the same with Utah. So you moving your headquarters to the south, it showed that you are ready to be serious about football. And if it wasn't for your relocation to Texas, this merger with the ASUN probably would have never happened. Because the ASUN probably would not have viewed you as a serious business partner. But you showing that you're willing to move to a territory where the game is taken serious and people are serious about being successful in the sport, that enabled you to connect with the ASUN, who has their headquarters in Atlanta. So now, WAC, you have two you have a footprint in two major locations in the South, which is Texas and Georgia. And both of those states not only produces a lot of big time, good college football players, those two states also produce a lot of good NFL players. So you moving to the Southeast it'll go down as probably, if it's not the smartest move that you have made, one of the smartest move that you have made in your rebirth, in your revival. It was very important for you to have a footprint in the Southeast. And that footprint in the Southeast is through the ASUN. And you're able to connect with the ASUN by you moving to Texas. Because I don't believe that the ASUN would have viewed you as a serious partner if your headquarters was still in Colorado. And that's just the reality. Now, when it comes to college sports out west, Olympic sports will still do well. But I'm talking about from a college football point of view. You moving to the South is the smartest move that you have made in the history of your rebirth.
I see the look in your face, you know. I will it out when I cop it, cause I'm in my bed already. Jumped out the porch, I go out and get it, no I never was. I don't need your permission, I don't need your permission.
Hey, I don't need your permission. Hey, I'm in the game, I know it's a game of interest. Back in the day, she catted on me, now my DM is overwhelming with hop on a flight to New York, chop cheese when we in the city. Stiff arm on that faux love, if it's real love, show a couple. Papa told me when I get to Harlem, slide to 126 and Lennox. They gon' try to gentrify your legacy, fascism, classism, weaponry. Still two-step, new step to my own melody. You can't kill what's real, it's too heavenly. My eyes too wide, I see the maze like I'm freaking Beverly. I play it chill, I see the real in jeopardy. Just wanna live, wanna ball, where we come from, we ain't have nothing. We want it all, mix up the caramel rap and the Adderall. I got the game from the coach and then pass it off, moving like AC Transit, all in traffic, now all the Bay watch like Hasselhoff. Graduated cap and gown and then took the tassel off and really went outside, I'm really outside, yeah. I went up on my downtime, on all of my downtime, yeah. On all of my downtime. I see the look in your face, you mad, you big mad. I wear it out when I cop it, cause I'm in my bag already. Jumped off the porch, I go out and get it, no I never asked. I don't need your permission, I don't need your permission. I see the look in your face, you mad, you big mad. I wear it out when I cop it, cause I'm in my bag already. Jumped off the porch, I go out and get it, no I never asked. I don't need your permission, I don't need your permission.
Nah, I don't need your permission. I'm in my own race, I'm setting the pace and in pole position. And you in a poor position. I'm smoking that potpourri when I'm in Queens or overseas. It make no difference. Nah, this is some that I owe to me. I don't need no one to oversee. Understand that. Flew to Sudan and I brought the sand back. Straight from the mud, I want all the land back. Messing my destiny, sense of time. Worth more to me than $1 You stressing to make a bag back. I just do that in a hockey sign. Half the time I be in the moment trying to stay in it longer. It's getting harder trying to balance my wants, needs, aspirations, and karma. I had to face it, it's just me and myself, and the circumstance made me stronger. My no longer in need of your validation. I guess I'm the bad guy, I had to face it. Look, I took my share of the heat for it. Yeah, where we got beef for it. I don't do beef, I'm a destroyer. $250,000 up for each lawyer. I am a star, but don't reach for it. Burn you like the Keith. I put it on inside a leaf. I made a choice and took a leap.
I see the look in your face. You mad? I wear it out when I cop it, cause I'm in my bag already. Jumped off the porch, I go out and get it, no I never asked. I don't need your permission, I don't need your permission. I see the look in your face, you mad? I wear it out when I cop it, cause I'm in my bag already. Jumped off the porch, I go out and get it, no I never asked. I don't need your permission, I don't need your permission.
reinvent. What's the mathematic pi? What's humble pie? Think about it.
Anunnaki, chocolate Darren Aronofsky. Word in my balls, shining like Swarovski. Never needed swag, politics, or paparazzi. I'd rather knock a foxy chick, pop the stop on Nazis. Hot by proxy, I rhyme with the greatest MCs. Pandemic, this the latest disease. No skills, million rappers claim they trapping with keys. So I swing across bars like the flying trapeze. SoCal, where I was conceived, another LA king. The meek die on their knees, cause of greed. Mama used to read Proverbs 16. Pride comes before a fall, lose it all. And that's when you see who really got your back. Razzie bring the city joy like the Shack attack. Black Matt Benz wagon with the matching hat. This is backpack ratchet, nigga, action packed. And most of y'all garbage, homie, facts is fact. Even if you paid big bucks to get fucked and dick sucked, hiccuped and lick nuts for platinum plaques. Hope you picking up what I'm putting down. Whack is whack, Jack. Ungrateful Thanksgiving. They feasted on ribs, gave us intestines where the shit's been. We made that chitlin. Necessity's the mother of invention. My light bulb go off, cause I don't like wishing. Keep reinventing. 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 My nigga, have you ever dated a white girl? Y'all break up and argue, then she call you the N-word. Damn, not N-I-G-G-A, N-I-G-G-E-R. Entice you to strike her so you can see these balls. I'm Missy Elliott like hee-hee-hee-hee-haw. You are not needed trollop, now you are VCRs. I'm somewhere on Krypton and you should see these stars. Parallel universe, free throw shooting meteors. In slam dunking planets, my semantics damn near tantric. Dorothy came in Kansas, you was never on my bandwidth. And fuck effing radio stations, you complacent, cause y'all play the most ignorant songs in creation. Wayne said he make these hoes love him like Satan. Jay partnered with Barney's with racial discrimination. And Kanye gears for Confederate flags. His ancestors' severed heads was in Confederate bags. And this ain't hate, this just the truth about when blacks escape the concrete jungle and lose humble. Humility's a blessing, and many men have tumbled off that pedestal soon as your foundation crumbles. Beef sausage in my gumbo, pouring out liquor for my grandparents and uncle, who I get drunk for. Californication, no runkle. Blue leather belt, big silver H on the buckle. Ebbs and flows, made a modest living off rapping. Can say I'm ballin', I'm still trying to make it happen. Impregnate the beat and murk it like Rick Carew. Stand on Dr. King's mountaintop and raise the roof. Keep reinventing. Keep reinventing. Keep reinventing. Keep reinventing. Keep reinventing. Keep reinventing.
Football aspect. Now, from other sports, WAC, how about you become an Olympic league? Because just because college football is dead out west, that doesn't mean all college sports are dead out west. You see, WAC, you're in a good situation where you can become the premier Olympic League of America. There's not many conferences that pride themselves on being a great Olympic league. I think the Pac-12 have tried that, but by calling themselves Conference of Champions. But the problem with that, they are overshadowed by football. And when you have football in your conference, you will not be able to promote other sports like on the same level as football. This is the same reason why the Big East had to break away and form a majority basketball league. The Catholic schools, they came together and they formed a majority basketball conference because they know that You can't really promote other sports when you have gridiron football in your conference. In WAC, now that you have given your football sector has merged with the ASUN to form UAC. Now you can promote other sports, Olympic sports. Look at the amount of sports that you have. On the men's side, you have baseball, basketball, cross country, football, golf, swimming, diving, tennis, indoor and outdoor track. From the women's side, you also have basketball, cross country, golf, softball, swimming, diving, tennis, indoor and outdoor tracks, volleyball. Well, here's another sport that you have, WAC. You also have soccer. Soccer is a global sport. And there's not many conferences that have soccer. Now, a lot of people like to say that college soccer is dead. But college soccer doesn't have to be dead. WAC, you have schools that are in locations that cherish soccer. You being west of the Mississippi, the Mexican American, the Latino population is much larger. And that ethnic group, they cherish the game. They value the game more than traditional Americans. So with right business moves, with good savvy leadership, WAC, you can make a lot of money off of college soccer. You're located in Seattle. You have a location in California, California Baptist, Houston Christian. WAC, try adding more California teams. California is the soccer capital of America. California produces a lot of MLS players, a lot of U.S. men national team players, and there's a lot of teams that are still getting ready to start business in California. You got a team that's getting ready to start in San Diego, an MLS team. You got a USL team that's getting ready to start in Santa Barbara. Oakland is getting ready to, is growing. Oakland Roots is growing. Sacramento is growing. LAFC is growing. California is a great place for you to grow your brand, WAC, when it comes to soccer. So the opportunity is there for you to become a premier Olympic league in the West. From a basketball standpoint, your rival will be the West Coast Conference, as long as Gonzaga stays. Because we hear the constant rumors about them wanting, well, I don't know if they want to, but about them potentially leaving the West Coast Conference. So from a basketball standpoint, yes, West Coast Conference will be your big rival. But then we can't also forget about the Big 12 and the Mountain West. They're still really good when it comes to basketball. But the problem with those schools is they have football. They have football members. Football being in those conferences, it overshadows basketball. It kind of limits basketball's ceiling because football is the big moneymaker. Football gets the big media, the big attention. But you don't have to deal with that anymore, WAC, because you have passed football along to the UAC. So now you can focus on other sports. And when it comes to soccer, that is something that I'm definitely going to talk more about in regards to you, WAC. Football, I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking about WAC football. Is it the UAC now? You made the right decision. Now you have the opportunity to focus on global sports that will enable you, WAC, to become a global brand.
most. Temporarily be the toast. Guns and butter on what matters the least. Watch him overdose. Let him hang, nigga, hang by they gold ropes. Smoke dope till you comatose, no hope. For that butter, niggas die broke. Third eye woke, poke holes in the American dream. Run out of options, made it easy, you can hustle and scheme. But one problem, they building private prisons just to house niggas. For cheap labor, that's why, nigga. They call it PIC. It's not a club, but you VIP. Series of numbers that replace your ID. Home of the cowardly, freedom ain't free. The revolution won't be shown on TV. We too busy watching fake reality. You see, what goes up comes down. Dog chase tail go round and round. We all hypnotized when we hit the sounds. Ever seen a clown with a smile that was upside down? You see it, they swear we going to the promised land. Right. They swear they better than a better man. Right. We need to get our shit together, man. Right. Probably listening like whatever, man. They swear niggas be killing when they just killing. Waking up every morning, hollow, no feeling. You hear the rap, money stack, I touch the ceiling. Gotta tell my nephews they really have a ceiling. That's to be honest, you ain't getting everything that's promised. 40 acres in the mule, right? Work so they can take cost of living tax till your back break. No grass, but you still missing the snakes till they slither on ya. Who tired of looking at the middleman? The one on top, so he devise a plan. And who too busy thinking promised land? To realize, pinpoint the scam. Shooting the messenger, that's only part of our conditioning. They keep trying to tell us, but we not listening. You wanna hide it, put it in a book. They wanna hide it, put it on a corner, watch it cook. You see, what goes up comes down. Dog chase tail go round and round. We all hypnotized when we hit the sounds. Ever seen a clown with a smile that was upside down? You see it, they swear we going to the promised land. Right. They swear they better than a better man. Right. We need to get our shit together, man.